Well, hello everybody. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. I decided today I wanted to use these tomatoes that I had gotten. I know, giant can. Lots of things I can do with those. So today I decided that I'm going to do some crock pot cooking, and the base is going to be these tomatoes. So I'm going to start out with a little of this tomato sauce. Hope everybody can see that. There you go. These are already peeled and they're going to have a little stew, because I'm not sure if I'm going to have this alone or if I'm going to pour it over some quinoa later. I was thinking, gosh, it's like 44 degrees out and winter's coming, and might be good to have something really nice and warm to warm our hearts. And when I was growing up, I thought it was my mom used to warm up stewed tomatoes and she just put them like as a side dish, and I thought that was wonderful. And so, me and tomatoes, we go way back. So I looked to see what I had in the refrigerator and the cupboard. I was trying to clean out some of my veggies because I have not been a very good girl lately at making sure that I'm keeping up with everything that's in the refrigerator. So I'm doing my version of Chopped, where I just look in the refrigerator, see what I have. And now, since it's crock pot season, gonna put in the crock pot. So I have some, it's okay. Some chickpeas I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna rinse them real quick here. I like to rinse the beans in water. It takes a little of the starch out of them and cleans them up. So, if you have a strainer, you can put it through the strainer and, just rinse it through a few times. And, I know some people like to save the juice of the chickpeas for other recipes, so that's something you could do. You just drain it into a jar, and you can drain it into a jar and keep it in the refrigerator to add to different recipes. So there goes my chickpeas. So far, tomatoes, chickpeas, and then I'm going to put a little lentils in because these are green lentils. Lentils are very good for me, and they're a good source of fiber and protein. I will also drain these. What I'll probably be just showing you is, what a little bit of my food prep, and then I'll probably come in later and show you the finished product. So again, with most of my beans, I like to rinse them. I need to be really careful with a lot of starch, and so every little bit helps. And I love lentils. I'm like a lentil junkie. If you follow a lot of my recipes, you would find that I use lentils in breakfasts and making nachos, and I was so happy to find out that I could eat lentils. I was like, yay, lentil burgers, lentil soup. It's just makes me very happy. So I'm just gonna, my mom used to do this trick, and I don't think it hurts anything to get the remaining beans out. She kind of puts a little water in there to rinse it out. That way you're not wasting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir that around a little bit, because pretty soon it's all going to go into the crock pot. You know, winter sneaks up on us, and I think getting meals that we can, that we can, you know, do a little prep, then kick back a little bit, or if we need to, go out and do a few things. I mean, I share this all the time, that when me and my son first started shoveling snow, I got this great idea that I would put in these giant baked potatoes, because they need about an hour to cook, and in about an hour, you know, we should get enough shoveling done, hopefully to do everything, or at least get a big chunk done. And I would put that baked potato on, you know, 350, 375, just depending on the day and how big the potato. And then we'd go out and we shovel. And when we got done, we'd come in, and I would have, you know, take that baked potato out. It'd be nice and warm in here from the stove. And I'd top that with whatever we wanted, you know, whether it be, you know, chili, or just cheese, or just whatever. And it was a great way. And I think that's the same thing with crock pot cooking, which is good, is you can, you know, put it in the crock pot and let it cook all day. Or some people have some recipes that cook all night. And, you know, you make enough for, you know, a few days, depending on, you know, how many you're feeding, or it makes a really good hearty meal. And, you know, you can add a nice salad to it, you know. Those of you that have followed me in the past know that I mentioned the glucose goddess. Okay, I'm going to put some carrots in. And this is just kind of my, I don't know, my Mediterranean side coming out. I'm not going to cut them up small. I'm just going to let them boil in that and become nice big slices. That the glucose goddess, you know, she, you know, I talk a lot about her. I really appreciated her information and insight. I recommend that you go over and see her site. If you know me, you know that I definitely recommend that you go see her site. But, you know, she will say, you know, to have a nice salad before a meal like this. So, like, you know, the old soup and salad. And, oh my gosh, I think that's a great idea, you know. So I'll have a little salad, and then have a little bit of, you know, a little bit of this, I guess, stew. Or, like I said, I might put it over quinoa. I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to do. I love the show Chopped. You know, I don't know if most of you know that I didn't have still don't have broadcast television in my home. And so when I go places, or if there's a TV in the hotel, sometimes everybody wants to turn it on. So I'm always interested to see. But I loved watching Chopped, and what I loved the most was them making a meal out of what they had. And, you know, I didn't grow up rich by no means, and sometimes, you know, you ended up making meals out of what you had. And like I've shared in my last videos, you know, I never knew what my mom was going to put in our spaghetti, because she was just cleaning out the refrigerator, and that was the easiest way to do it. So, you know, I definitely sometimes feel like, you know, what is in there and what can go good with this. And since I really probably follow a maybe 70% a Mediterranean diet, you know, obviously as un-Americanized as possible, but obviously I live where I live. But you know, I also intermix eating for my blood type, fruits and vegetables. And when I really up my game, I try to eat seasonal, but I'm not there yet. Maybe next year. But you know, right now it's, you know, what do I have in the refrigerator that if I don't use it in the next couple of days, I'm going to have to juice it, and do I really want to juice it? I've been really wanting to use these tomatoes for a while, and you know, definitely love the idea of all the flavors that this is going to have in it, you know, with the celery and the kale and the zucchini. The zucchini obviously be left. So I'm putting some red bell peppers in. I do best with red bell peppers. I know that a lot of people are used to growing up with greens, so was I. And somewhere along the line, you know, I learned that they're harder for me to digest, and I have a lot of trouble, but I love them. So, you know, it was suggested to me to, you know, to try, you know, reds, the yellows, the oranges, and so I have, and I seem to be able to tolerate that a little bit more. Now, some of you who follow me probably know that it's probably surprising that I haven't put any kind of seasoning in this yet, but it's because I really kind of want to get an idea of what's going in here to decide what direction I want to take it. You know, if I want to put a little smoked paprika in there, a little, I think I have an Indian spice mix that might go good in here. So I'm kind of just waiting to see. And I think I'm going to cut up some celery and put some celery in now too, because I'm going to wait on the zucchini and the kale. So you'll have to follow along. Well, you don't have to, but if you'd like to see what the next, you know, the next stage looks like, I'll take a picture of once I have the zucchini in and the kale. Maybe I'll do another little video of the final part of making, you know, a bean. Beans kind of like soup. I don't know if I want to put rice in it or if I want to put like I said, quinoa, or you know, what do I want to, you know, I even thought about vegetables a little bit, but if I did that I'd have to make it a little bit more brothy. But it's really, this is just a recipe based on, I got to clean out the refrigerator. And one way to clean it out is to crockpot it like we used to do. I'll say it, in the olden days. I know a lot of people use a crockpot now. I mean, you know, there's still around a lot of good recipes, but I just think that it's still underused for the things that you can do with it. I mean, I definitely have not ventured into the world, but there are plenty of YouTube channels out there that you can tune into, that you can get some great inspired ideas. And maybe, you know, I just gave you the inspiration to get started with whatever you have in your refrigerator. Like, go in there tonight and be like, hey, what do I have? And do I have any beans? And what are they? And, you know, it also gives you a chance to take stock of what you have in your pantry. And if you follow my YouTube channel, you'll see that, you know, one of the inspirations or insights today was about making healthy choices. And, you know, this to me is a very healthy choice, bouncing you around. So I think I am going to put a little smoked paprika in. And let me look up here. When I go live, then you guys will be able to come with me through the whole kitchen. Yes, so see, I do have an Indian spice. And let's see. cinnamon, bay leaves, ginger, cumin, cloves, coriander, and black peppercorn. Perfect. And then I'm going to put a little smoked paprika. So let's do this first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my crock pot in, and then I'm going to put this in. And in a little bit, I'll add the zucchini. Oh, I can smell that. Oh, that smells good, and it's not even cooking yet. Oh, my Lord. It's going to be delicious. Thank you for the inspiration of healthy eating today. Oh, because it definitely is something that is going to hit the spot. And not too much. I learned my lesson, and you know, spices that just because they look good don't mean that they're not going to be a little hot to the mouth. So I'm going to turn that so you can see. So right now it's just the basics: tomatoes, lentils, chickpeas, carrots, celery, and then I'll be putting zucchini in, and a little bit of kale, and see what we're going to do. So stay tuned. All right. Thanks for sharing my prep with me. And keep an eye in the community post, and I'll post when I'm got my finished product, and I'll video what it looks like in a few hours. All right. See you then.